Okay, I'm gonna put this part of the video right at the beginning. Um, it works. The car runs. I mean, it doesn't run. Well, you'll see what I mean. Watch the video. But the transmission's okay. I had some big bumps and hurdles to get over, but I did it. I'm gonna go over some basic stuff on making flares and copper tubing, and what to do and what not to do, in my opinion. Another thing about copper line, you might as well get extra. Okay, finally, after like 2.5 months, I got the lines in. Anyway, I just gotta tighten 2 more nuts, and then I can tighten these 2 more here. Then I can do it. The way this tubing is measured, it's measured on the outside. You don't measure the inside, measure the outside. So make sure you cut this stuff as square as you can. You cut it, you're gonna have some burrs. First, come in and go kind of square, just right on the edge, barely. And clean off any burrs until it feels clean. Then kind of go to 45, real lightly. And just kind of get like a slight bubble on there. Do it now, don't do it later. Here is that tool, a close-up of it. So operation 0, operation 1, operation 2. If you look close, that says 5/16. So again, this is gonna be a broken up video, but here's what happens. Here's the 5/16 die. There's operation 0, which pushes that in. And you go to operation, let's see, operation, where is it? Operation 1. That's gonna make the bubble fitting that I think I'd talk about later. And then operation 2. Again, where's 2? There it is. Well, there's 1. There it is over here. And operation 2, you're gonna spray every single bolt and everything that had a thread or a nut or a bushing with WD-40. Let me explain one more thing. Let me take the angle in here. It's kind of a 45 right there. And it says 5/16 45. Well, it also comes with this other side. It says 5/16 8mm din. What the heck is din? You might want to check to make sure there's no junk in there. If there is, clean it out. So we're going to take again, this is 5/16 die. We're going to lay one in there with the 45 facing that way, because that's where the tool is going to push. The easiest way is just kind of lay this in here. Yeah, I just thought I'd film this. Right now I feel really down, really bummed out. So I finally got the transmission all back together. And it's stuck in revert. I mean, it's stuck in park. You're usually not going to be doing these little short pieces, but it's good to practice on to get an idea. We're going to turn it to operation 0. Again, operation 0 is basically just a flat area that's going to set the right depth. Make sure that's on the way it is. It's square. I'm going to lay the tube on. I don't have to lay it perfect, but it's better to have it sticking a little bit towards this way. We want it to push in because we want the depth to be right. Again, the 45, 5/16, always keep checking if you're like me. Keep screwing up. So now it's in. We're going to take this lever. We're going to put it over. We're going to push this through. That just locks it in. Now we're going to barely tighten this, just so none of this stuff falls out. Now it's on operation 0. We're going to push it. You can't see it, but it's pushing the tube in, and it's pushing the blocks or the dies back to where they need to be. That's it. Hold that handle. Tighten it up. It doesn't have to be extremely tight, just tight. What's holding this tube is these dies are a little bit big, and it's squeezing down just enough so the tube won't slide out. So now it's set. The blocks are set, the tube is set. Now we're gonna go to operation 1, 5/16. Okay, double check it's in the right spot. That's tight, this is in. Make sure your vise, make sure this is tight. I can't remember if I showed putting that in here. So I'll do that at the end. I'll do that right now. I can't remember. Sometimes, like I said, I step away for a day or a week. So this thing just drops in like that. I mean, you can put it any way you want. Hold it, tighten it up. Make it tight. Make this you want tight. And you want your vise tight too, because you're going to be putting some pressure on here. I know my vise is tight. Okay, back to operation 1. See that? It's still not quite tight. Operation 1. Okay, that's operation 1. Now I'm going to use this tool right here that I made up. I didn't plan on using this, because if I pull it out, it'll get out of line. That made this bubble flare, that first step, that'll work in these hoses perfectly. So if you're wanting to do that, stop, you're done. I mean, that's a good fit. So I don't have a flare here, but it's a good idea to put a flare on right now, because you might make a mistake and put the flares on both ends, and then you can't get your fittings on. That's what I mean, your fittings. Okay, so we're leaving everything alone, but we're going to turn this to operation 2. 5/16 operation 2. Again, I think I showed in another part of the video, but there's 4 different size dies, so you need to read this. But operation 2 is, it does say 5/16 and 3/8. That's what it says. Now it's tight. I haven't touched anything. I push the handle until I can't push it. And I put my hand here because sometimes the vise turns. And you're done. Loosen this. Oh, the directions also say you should put some oil down inside here, in where the tube is. For some reason, I always forget. Loosen this. If this is long, this thing's going to want to fall apart, so it's not a bad idea to kind of hold it. Pull the pin out, or hold it from this side, I guess. In that case, sometimes it sticks, so you just have to kind of bang it. But there we go. See if I can do a close-up of this. That's all we need. Okay, so I'm just going to show you one more close-up. I guess it's kind of a close-up. I don't know if you can see it, but here's that flare we just made. Here's the side that goes on the radiator. It has a fitting like that. You can see that. And here's the flare for the at the transmission, or at your brake lines or whatever. That's how it should look. So again, that was on the American cars, at least the older ones. The Trans Am was the same. It was just like I just showed you. That's how you do it. Don't use the DIN side. Make sure you use the 45 side. Make sure you saw me that I cleaned the pipe with the bench grinder. The chances are you're not going to be able to do that. The pipe's going to be all these weird shapes. So practice with a hand grinder on a table the way I cut it. Here I am, I'm ready to put lines in, but where do I run them? But I do know my starting point is here. So I'm just going to kind of come out, it looks like I should come out about, so let's see, here's the radiator. Come out 10, over 9. Well, I need room to get the starter off. About 16. Go down. So I'm just going to put an arrow down. Then I got to go down. I got to go down 2. I'll just kind of go like that. Down 2. I lost track of where I am. Then I'm going to make this piece long. Then over 18, and the transmission's somewhere over here. So we'll see what happens. I got plenty of tubing. So I came out of the radiator, around the oil pan, under the starter. So I'm going to cut about 1 inch off of here. What you got to remember about these floor fittings is, if you do tight bends, let's say I wanted to do a tight bend right here, you can't do it. You got to have like 2.5 inches. Here we go. Okay, this is what I got. Input, output. It's not perfect right here, but this is the frame. That's pretty dang good. It's not perfect. And then from here, I need to come down, if you can see that, and down over there. I'm gonna play with it a little bit more. Yeah, I got some material left over from the Trans Am. I was looking for some more of this 5/16 protection liner. So it's the one with the tape. I'm gonna mark it right about. Okay, I'm sitting up in my room. I got my overalls on. So I got the transmission all together, and it won't. It's now stuck in park. I can't get it out. I decided to film this because I'm really bummed out right now. I'm gonna go pull the transmission pan off and look up inside. Maybe I don't have the linkage on right, or anyway, what do? Quit or keep going? I'm gonna keep going. I can't remember exactly what happened, but somehow now it's stuck in park. I can't get it out of park. I can't move the car. So, I mean, I can go underneath and disconnect the drive shaft and roll the car. But anyway, again, I'm going crazy. But yeah, in life you're gonna run across this stuff, and what do? I mean, I think I'm gonna pull the transmission pan and look up and see if the linkage slipped off or something. So that means that's why I'm in these overalls. I got to. Luckily, it's stuck in park where it's still on the lift because I had pushed it back. Anyway, I know none of this is making sense because I'm frustrated. I'm down on myself. But on the other hand, this is just a hobby. It's not the end of the world. I mean, maybe I can't rebuild this transmission. Maybe I had to go buy a used transmission. Maybe I had to take it in somewhere. I don't know. But I'm not going to just give up. Because where do you go to give up? I mean, where is this magic place that you go and give up? And then, as the years pass by and I look back on times like this that things have happened, they always end up working out. Anyway, anybody that's working on a car or a house or anything, you're going to run into these things, and it's not the end of the world. You got to look at it as I don't know how to look at it, a challenge, find a way around it. So I'm going to raise the car. I'm going to pull off the transmission pan, let it drain out, look up inside, because I know enough now because I rebuilt it. I'll be able to see the linkage. Maybe it popped off. I'm not sure right now. But if you're interested, I'll take you for the ride. And by the way, I cleaned everything up in anticipation of everything going right. So I'm going to end up making a mess again. I just know it. I just cut my finger. Yeah, there's my problem right there. Let me go fix this cut. The problem is, this piece here, I don't have it in the slot right. I don't know how I did that, but I did. It should lock in. The question is now where? I guess it'd only lock in one spot. I'm looking over here. I think I need to take this off. So I can slide this out. I'm not sure where that goes. Well, it has to go right there. How do I tighten that? At least get it tight enough to hold it until I can get a wrench on it. What a stupid mistake. This won't slide all the way out because it'll hit this drum. I have to tighten it. The way this works is before you put this in, this piece slips through that hole. So again, this is the kick down. Let's see. What am I doing up here? Yeah, that's the kick down. This is the shifter. Okay, now it's solid. So now this cable, let's try it. So I think that's parked. I'm gonna go reverse. I can't because the lever, I guess the lever up there. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's it. Figure out how to tighten this thing. I don't know, man. How am I gonna get that frickin' wrench in there? This thing is right in my way. I can't get it in there. Oh, that was stupid. I sure am not going to pull the transmission apart. I'll tell you that. I still got blood flowing out. I'm going to have to let this slide out. Then I can get the wrench at least into there. Okay, that went like that. How do I get that tighter? I might cut a hole in this wrench. I might sacrifice this wrench. I found this. I just can't quite get it. That's good. I don't want to go anymore. I'm afraid I'll strip it. That's freaking tight. Plus, I got my adrenaline going. I guess you got to move the selector to get this thing to move. Anyway, I'm glad that I videotaped myself when I was totally discouraged in the dumps. So it's about, I don't know, hour and a half later. It's done. I fixed it. Yeah. I don't know what to say. Just try not to give up. Actually, I talked to Ken. Ken, if you watch this, I talked to Ken on the guy that helped me with the video that helped me rebuild the transmission. I sent him an email last night. And he seemed, I mean, I felt like he was thinking I'm an idiot, which maybe I am. But, you know, we all feel that way. We feel like we're idiots sometimes. Even at my age, I'm 69, I still feel that way. But he said, the first thing he said is, did you make sure the linkage is on the flat, which is what I just did? I said, yeah, I'm pretty positive. But I was thinking it might be linkage related, but he pinpointed it exactly. If you watch this, thanks, Cam. So anyway, we're back where we started. Before I put, if you watch this video, I was saying I was done, and then I was saying I wasn't done, and now I'm saying I'm done. Gonna add fluid back in there. I'm gonna clean up my wound in my hands and the floor. Yeah, I didn't get it that dirty. But I got blood all over the place. For some reason, the transmission fluid squirted all the way over to here. Anyway, it's under there. The Band-Aid wouldn't stick because it had transmission fluid all over me. I got blood all over the floor. So I'm just gonna clean this floor and then I'll wash my hand better. Yeah, I just want to show something. And I'll show the reason in a minute. But, okay, I just fixed it. I just fixed the linkage. I just fixed the linkage, but watch. Reverse, neutral. You see why it's not going all the way into low? I changed the position of the lever at the transmission, and I'll show that later. But I mean, so what we really have is we have a short throw, but the throw doesn't work with this. So I have to go back and go underneath, put it back. But right now, we're going to try to start the car. Feels like the gas pedal's not working. Anyway, here we go. muffler. Oh, I gotta start my timer. There's another thing I want to show you. So I just ran the car for 30 seconds. I'm gonna get out and check the fluid, but I'm a big guy. This car is hard to get out of, so I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna hold it over into park. I just swung the steering wheel away. That's one of the reasons I bought this car. I mean, I wanted the Galaxie, but this came along. So look at that. That's pretty interesting. So now I can get out really easy. Look at this. I got tons of room. Also, I don't know if I said it. I moved the car back a little bit on that bottom arm. I think I talked about it in some video. Now I can open the door all the way. It's all the way open. Okay, here's what I got going on now. I put a filter in line. So when I just went through everything you just saw, but now it won't go in gear. I put in 2 quarts of transmission fluid, and the car won't move. And I checked a dipstick, and it looks like the fluid's not going through. So I don't want to just run it forever. I've been warned not to run it too long without fluid. So I disconnected this line coming back out of the radiator, the return line. And now I'm going to go. That's all I could think of to do. I'm going to lower the car, because I need 2 people. I'm going to lower the car, start it, get out, look under the car, see if this fills up. In other words, is the pump working? If the fluid's not going through all the systems, it won't go into gear. Maybe I'm just not waiting long enough. But I'm nervous, so that's what I'm doing now. The other thing I was talking about earlier, again, I don't know anything about automatic transmissions. I'm learning. So I raised this lever up to here because that's exactly where park is. But you saw from the selector in the car, it doesn't go all the way through the gears, so I'm going to put it back down to here. I mean, it goes through all the gears, but it doesn't read right on the indicator. Weird stuff. Okay, now I noticed, when I was putting that downshift lever on down below, I must have put it on wrong because I can't push the gas pedal. So I must have it off 1 notch. I don't think that'll affect it pumping. But I guess I need to disconnect this. The problem with this is I can't even see that dang C-clip. It's on the back side. Started to pump fluid. I don't know what the heck was going on. it's not going in the gear very well. I mean, it's going, but it feels like it's, for not knowing a better term, like it's not engaging fully. But right now it's full. I don't know why it's taking so long to pump. Could use some carburetor work or low compression, I don't know. Haven't even thought about that yet. Yeah, it's got some definite carburetor problems. Anyway, it's starting to roll. I guess the transmission is working. I gotta check the engine, check the vacuum, check the compression. I just don't know where anything is right now. Again, this car came not running. I mean, not running right. Let's check the fluid one more time. You could use another quart. Again, I've never rebuilt the transmission, so I don't know what is what. But the guy at the transmission shop said, put in 2 quarters, do it 15 seconds, do 2. And I said that before. But I talked to Ken, he says put in 4 quarts, so I don't know. I just think it needs to pump up, whatever that means, because it's starting to go now. I don't know anything past that. That's why they call it a project. I could have bought a car done, but that's no fun for me. I wouldn't say this is hilarious either, but it's interesting. It's interesting. So I'm going to call that I'm going to call the rebuild a success. It's starting to drive. It's working on all gears. But now that it's running, I got to check the engines. There's something weird going on with the engine. I got oil dripping out of my bad muffler. I'll show you that in a second. But again, the problem is I've been led to believe that it would pump up fast. That's what was my concern, and then I had the concern with the linkage. I just don't know. This is how you learn. You just do it, and you learn. I mean, now I can mentally picture what's inside the transmission. But if things are working, I can't. A transmission is weird. You can't put it on a transmission stand and test it unless you have a special setup. You can do that with an engine. The transmission, you need a car to test it. I don't feel comfortable driving this around. Not yet. I gotta look in I gotta check out the engine. I just got some issues that I can see. Yeah, this is the end on the transmission build. Again, I don't know what I was doing. I just wanted to do it because I've never done it. I have no idea how old the gas in this car is. I have no idea what the compression is. I have no idea about anything. So that's next. I was going to take it for a test drive, but I don't know if I said this. The choke is tied open. There's in the old cars, they had something to help warm up the engine from the tailpipe that comes up to the like a heat riser. I don't know where it went, but that's broken. It just is running really bad. The muffler's shot. I got oil. Let me turn the camera around. I got oil coming out of the muffler. If I didn't say that, you can see that. And that's it. It's all fun, man. This is what you're doing. If you got to have something to do when you retire. Any old guys watching this, find something to do. I don't care what it is. This bottle thing, I never did get fluid out of there. But then I thought maybe it was causing like a vacuum leak that it wouldn't allow it to go through. But all of a sudden it started pumping. And I don't know if I said this, I went in forward and reverse. I was totally bummed out yesterday, man. I was just, we've all been there. That's where I was. So I'm going to stop now. I got out here early, believe it or not, because it was just bugging me, man. I had to go, what is wrong with this sucker?